Here's some of the hardware we're going to install. This is a Blu-ray burner. A Revo Drive X2. This plugs into the motherboard and that should speed things up. Here's a slick Logitech camera that tracks you around the room. Yeti microphone. I've heard a lot of good things about this Yeti, including that it's huge. Here's a wireless illuminated keyboard. A wireless mouse. They should share one USB port, I'm hoping. They cooperate. A video card. This ought to do the trick. I don't really play games too much with it, but it should have enough power for video. Here to put some old training films and such onto Blu-rays. A converter box, analog to digital converter. An internal card reader for camera cards and such. And finally a FireWire card and a few extra USB ports on this cable slung over here. The first card we're going to put in is this Revo Drive X2 solid state drive. Beautifully packaged. Well, it cost a lot of money, so I suppose it should be nicely packaged. Not really much on the instructions. Open the conductive bag. Trying to avoid touching any of the surfaces. Here we go. It has a date on it, 07, July 2010. So we have an idea from that we might need to upgrade the BIOS before we get too far along on this card. Motherboard connector. And this will have to route underneath the Revo card. You'll see that in just a minute. Revo card that's going to help us here. Ah, a work of art. And next we have our EVGA GeForce card. Dump it out of its anti-static bag down on our Radio Shack mat. It's nice having a Radio Shack in town. There we go. Look at that beauty. Now, one thing of concern to us is we have a power connector here that will have to be connected. We'll do that at the end. But for right now, we'll put this card in. Okay, our GeForce card is in. It took 2 slots. So now we have the solid state drive, the USB connector. Then we have the GeForce drive. And these both are going to run off the other north bridge, which was previously unloaded. We've given it a little load. And then we'll make both of those work instead of putting them all on the first one. Now if we'd use this top, number 6, that goes to this first one. Would have added the video card load on top of everything else it's doing. Well, we want to distribute it out a little bit. That helps with heat and some other issues as well. Now we're going to put in the FireWire 800-400 combo card. This one's for PCIe. And that's all we're talking about in this new board. That's the only connections there are different sizes of PCIe. So, I have to connect more power to this one as well. A lot of power. Of course, the more power you're using, the more heat we're going to make. The more important it is to filter and cool the air. Yes, here's a Molex connection. And we will connect that likewise at the end. Now this is going on the number 1 north bridge. And both of these will connect to power, but they're close together. Then it'll simply run up into our wiring harness. Okay, the good news here is that we've got plenty of cable, and yeah, we've got an extra power connector, 2 or 3 or 4 here. And let's see then how we're going to hook up. Nicely bundled. Open these up. See what do we have here. Just a little leader. The Molex connectors are rounded on one end. They should nicely fit together. Nice now. Similarly here. Beautiful. This takes a little bit different type of connection. This adapter. Oh. Let's fit together. There we go. Man, this damn packaging, man. I don't know how to put these things together here. I need a chainsaw to get into these things. Safety glove things, or scissors here. Good God. Well, I think they child-proofed it. Pretty good. That's black baggy not working. There we go. There. Okay, let's start the next section here. Beautiful Blu-ray burner. How do we know it takes Blu-ray? Right there. Blu-ray. Let's see. Cyberlink. Well, I'm going to be running Linux, so I don't think that's going to help much. So let's see. That's going to go here. And let's get it installed. Okay, the 4 screws are removed. Push this a little bit, look at that, just slide right out. No, I don't need that right now, so I'll put that way. Blu-ray drive, right side up. I'll push that right in to the front. Line up the front so it looks nice and pretty. And right there, I'll drive my screws into this side only, none on the other side. Old-fashioned screwdriver here. Yeah, there's snazzy modern ones that are magnetized and clips on them. Call your Snap-on dealer if you want one of those. I can't afford it. Look them up. And that's great. Now we have power and we have signal. Those are the 2 things we'll need. So, searching around, I will find the closest power connection. Now I'll need one more for my card below. I believe I can use this one. And let's see, it goes on in here. Light on the subject always helps. Beautiful, that's in. We've got another issue here. I see 1 memory, 2 memory, 3 sticks of memory. They're in blue slots, but I see a blue slot empty. And I look down the other processor, I see 1 memory, 2 memory, 3 memory, and a 4th blue slot empty. Now we know we like to fill up all of the slots in a bank. This is not a 3 bank, this is a quad bank. This is not a triple. So this will force the computer to run in single memory mode. We don't want that. We want it to run in quad memory mode as designed. So what I'm going to do is move the memory around such that we have this paired up a little better. First thing is to just push out these little tabs. Take my memory, screwed in exactly the same way the other is. All the way until that snaps back. And I should probably get my wrist strap on there. Perfect. I'm going to put this in with the little slot matching the seat as close as possible. It snaps in place. Now you can see that we have 4 and we have 4. As I'll show you, that's exactly what the manufacturer insists upon. Only 4 sticks at a time. No such thing as 3, 2, or 1. Only 4, matching on the other side 4. The cabling is tied up a little bit nicer. There's not much you can do with a wiring harness of this type, except bundle it up and keep it away as far as you can from your signal cables. Keep your power bundled and separate from your signal cables, and never coil it. Wad it up. If you coil it, you'll make an electromagnet. We don't want magnetic fields here. Now installing the ASUS sound card. That'll go right in the top slot. Perfect. I'll run a screw in that, and then we'll be done. This is a small internal card reader, inexpensive. And these are 2 adapter cables I'm going to need. They're from the Sewell company. And they're going to plug into my motherboard down here on the bottom in those USB connections. Close to see them. There they are, 2 of them side by side at the base of the motherboard. And this is where I'm going to plug in these cables and connect them to my multi-card reader. Now what we need to do is change to USB, which have another use when this is a server. Of course, we're making a workstation now for video editing. I have my cables here, each one goes to a USB, but my pins aren't going to be right here. You see there's only 9 holes in the plug, 10 here. So what I'm going to do is prepare this cable. And my red and orange wires are my hot wires on this side to match the red on each of these. With a little electrician's tape. I'm going to turn this into a socket as if it was on the motherboard itself. Nice little stretch it tight. Voila! A 9-pin connector. There we go. That's out. Some electrical cables out of the way for our connections. Power, out of the way. Let's feed my cable through. Probably tuck those cables back in there. About the same there. Good. Plug it right in. Voila! Multifunction card going to work. Blank that's in there. Get rid of that. Now we'll put the cover on. There's our multifunction card. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Haha. That's odd. The Revo Drive card looks like a mil-spec card, but I guess it isn't. Now I'm reinstalling the second hard drive. Now I'll be taking out the second card, OCZ. Notice the red light here. It's only reporting 3 banks, 0, 1, and 3. It's not reporting bank 2, which I presume this fault light is bank 2. This card's been in service for about 3 hours. Just got the operating system installed and was going to go ahead and install the Gnome desktop. When surprise, yes, that's right. You guessed it, number 3. Number 3. Back to the sender. Maybe I'll get a new one that'll work right. Now we'll put our side cover back on. Forward. We got a couple of thumb screws here. It goes a lot better. It goes a whole lot better. Now, this is for me at home. If this is a server, of course I don't want tampering, so I would not have thumb screws. However, plug everything in and turn it on and see if it works.